Hi, my name is Glenn Ewing. I want to share a little bit today about customer service. Did you know from a recent survey in the UK that 81% of customers would be willing to pay more for superior customer service? This is quite an amazing statistic and demonstrates how important the consumer feels about great customer service. So let's explore this a little bit further. The nice thing about customer service as a topic is that we can all relate to it, as we probably experience it on a daily basis. We are all customers and have all had good and bad customer service experiences. But what separates the good from the bad? I would label it as expectation. And the thing with expectation is that it can be different for every individual. But it's fair to say there would be a minimum benchmark for what consumers would expect as a whole. This can often also depend on the product being purchased. For example, if I go into a certain fast food chain, I am not expecting a great level of customer service. So when I don't receive great service, I am more accepting of it and don't get worked up about it. However, another individual may never even go in there because of the poor service. But I wouldn't just leave it at that. I would also add in emotional response. What is this? Well, it's how it makes you feel. We are all very emotional beings, and it is our emotion that often drives our behaviour. Great customer service is probably considered great because it has made us feel important, valued, happy, and maybe even made our day. Now, I am what I refer to as an emotional shopper. What I mean is that I'm a sucker for great service that makes me feel important and delivers against the need I have. For example, I was walking through a department store one day as a shortcut, but was approached as I was going through by a young attractive female with bright eyes and a big smile, as you find in most department stores. Being used to this sort of approach, I was ready to smile back politely and continue on my way. However, her approach was a little different in that she asked if she could feel my hands. Whoa, she caught me totally off guard, and I then noticed that she was promoting some sort of moisturiser. Now, usually I expect most of this type of product to be aimed at women, but as I then stopped in my tracks, she told me about the benefits, found out about any products I currently used, and then asked if she could demonstrate. I obliged, and she proceeded to massage my hands with the salt scrub from the Dead Sea, demonstrating the dirt she was removing from my hands, which I otherwise thought were clean. Anyway, she finished up with the scrub and then applied the moisturiser, which I have to say made my hands feel fantastic. These were great products, and needless to say, I bought them both, even though they were not cheap and I had not been intending to buy any such products that day. So why am I sharing this experience? The lady that day created a very strong emotional response in me by engaging with 4 out of 5 senses: touch, sight, sound and smell. In this instance, it was a very positive experience. Firstly, because it made me happy. I had a free hand massage. The product being promoted was very good, and the lady engaging with me sought to understand my needs and identified that I did indeed have dry hands. I was aware of that, and I had tried other moisturising products which were not that effective. She had provided me with a great solution to a problem I had. How would I rate the customer service experience? It has to be a 10 out of 10. Did I recommend the product? I most certainly did, and I also bought more. Or at least my wife went and bought more. Perhaps she thought I enjoyed the hand massage a little too much. Now let's think about expectation. This experience certainly surpassed my expectation for buying moisturiser. But equally, it has now set a very high precedent for all future purchases. Sometime later, I was approached again by someone in a shopping centre trying to sell moisturiser. I actually chose to stop again because of my great experience previously. However, there was nowhere near the same attempt to engage with me or demonstrate the product in the same way, so they didn't create much of an emotional response from me at all. It made it very easy for me to say, no thank you, and move on. So since this experience, I would probably rate most of my subsequent purchases of moisturiser at around 6 out of 10. My need is met, I get moisturiser, and I'm generally happy with my purchase. The reason I share this is that the recent UK Customer Satisfaction Index was published in January and showed a decline in customer service across 15 out of 17 sectors. Partly the blame here has been to do with the increased consumer demands. We expect more, or certainly the younger generations are certainly starting to expect more. As in my example, when customer service is raised, we then expect to receive similar levels of service elsewhere. With increasing customer demands, are businesses doing enough to respond to them? I can honestly say there have been very few experiences recently where I have felt really great about customer service. In my view, a lot of customers do a good job, but very few do an excellent job. Or maybe I am just not shopping with the right companies. I would agree with the findings in the report that companies do need to continually improve their customer service, as those that stand still will fall behind. In fact, it reminds me of a statement I was often told growing up. You are either moving forwards or backwards, as nothing stands still. Finally, let me share with you some key takeaway messages from the report. Overall, only 33 organisations out of the 196 measured improved their customer satisfaction index over the previous survey carried out 6 months earlier. This was the 4th consecutive fall, making customer satisfaction scores the lowest they have been since 2010. Customer expectations have rapidly evolved, wanting more convenience, speed and value of service. Customer behaviour is strongly linked to service quality, which will drive customer acquisition and sales growth. And finally, those who put customer relationships at the heart of their business model will be the most successful. All that's left for me to say is keep smiling, listening to your customers and improving your customer service. Go make someone's day today.